In another Tuesday edition, Gopher Basketball Weekly with Niko Medved. Great to be with all of you. Thank you. And a nice crowd here at Buffalo Wild Wings, as it is each and every Tuesday. Mike Grimm is my name. The head coach is Niko Medved. Hello to you, sir.
What's going on today?
There we
go. I better be in the microphone.
There you go. Now we can hear you.
Loud mouth, but not that loud.
Not that loud. No JG today. He is in the process of taping the TV show this week, which will feature, I think you and Dawn go every other week or something with TV. So Dawn Plitzowite chose now to record that show so we don't get JG, but we'll watch the show on Fox 9, I suppose. But that doesn't mean you and I can't have a good time today with everybody here.
Sometimes it's good not to have that third wheel hanging around.
No doubt. Third wheels can sometimes ruin the show, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's talk some Golden Gopher basketball here. What a stretch. You and I think I can say this. You and I were freezing, standing on the tarmac, coming back from that Penn State game, waiting for our luggage to come off the plane. And you looked at me and you said, out of these 7 games, even just to have something go, you're going to luck into a win somewhere. And yet, unfortunately, and again, some of it's playing, some of it's this, some of it's luck, whatever it is. What a stretch. You've not been through, you mentioned, I've not been through something like this before.
Yeah, every year you do this, you when you think you've seen it all, something happens. It's what keeps the job interesting. And but yeah, it's been a really bizarre year that way. And while I've been really pleased to see how our guys just continue to battle and give themselves opportunities to win. It's been really hard to watch us, not find a way to come out on top in so many of these close games. But yeah, you're right. In some ways, you would think that nothing would have changed, but just every once in a while we might have got a call or a ball would have bounced our way, at least in maybe one of these. But hey, that is what it is. You start going down that trap and feel like you're snake bitten. Yeah. You can't do that. You've just got to keep going here and battling, and we just got to find a way to make a few more plays.
It's weird through this stretch too. Sometimes when you're on a tough stretch, teams haven't learned how to win or what have you, and they will turn the ball over or make a costly mistake. You guys have actually late in games had shots to win, shots to tie. Some have gone in, some haven't. I mean, it hasn't been like you've just choked these games or kicked it away. You've been in position. You've put your guys in position. Think about these 7 games. 3 have been overtime. Yeah. 2 games separate from those 3 games have been buzzer beaters on the wrong end of it. And then the other 2 have been against top 10 teams, one on the road, one at home, where you were leading or tied at halftime and then in it at Illinois up until, the last 4 minutes. So it's just one of those weird stretches where you've put yourself in spots. You had 4 shots over the course of the 7 games that if any of the 4 go in, you win at least one of the games.
Yeah, and it's hindsight's 20/20, and having said that, I think we've done a lot of things right in these games, but we just haven't done enough right. The game the other night at Penn State, thought our guys handled those last 2.5 minutes really, really well. We were able to switch to the press, score quick. We managed that pretty well. We just had, again, a key defensive breakdown that maybe we just get one more stop, or we make one more free throw. You think in that situation at the end, Langston played terrific in the game, but it ended up being tied with 18 seconds to go. If we make that one and we're up 1, they have to shoot it quick. Yeah, because they're down.
Not going to hold for 1.
And then if they shoot it quick, for example, let's say that shot comes off and we get it foul, maybe we can take control of the game. Or even if they score it quick, we still have the last shot. So there's all those things that end up happening. So again, we've got to find a way to get over the top. But to your point, they are doing a lot of right things in these situations, just not quite enough things.
And we've talked about your competitive nature, so I know it stings to lose. How hard is it when you have a stretch like this to also though take the 30,000-foot view of, hey, they're playing hard? And I know you're not a moral victory guy. That's not what I'm asking you to talk about. But just that balancing act from not wanting to handle losing very well, but also understanding what maybe you're up against depth-wise and injury-wise, and yet playing tough games.
I don't take any of the losses well. The last 2 have been particularly hard for me. So it takes me an evening, of getting perspective and trying to come back and keep going. But no, I don't take it well. We talked about it. I mean, you're not asking me if I'm into moral victories, but you just cannot allow yourself to buy into, oh, we're snake bitten. No, nothing. It's just not going to go our way this year, or we're unlucky, or blame the refs, or blame. You start doing that. You're just asking, giving yourself an excuse essentially to not do. So you can't buy into any of that. You just got to keep going. You've got to control what you can control. It sounds redundant, but that's really the only choice you have. And to their credit, they keep doing that. And how can we find a way to get over the hump? I swear, sometimes it just takes one of those kind of going your way, and then next thing you know, you can really get on a run, and it's not all of a sudden the tables start to turn.
Yeah, 100%. Big Ten especially. I've noticed that. I've talked about that. Anyone who's listened to me on a regular basis, it goes both ways, right? Even we're seeing it. Purdue loses one, guess what? They lose a second. Nebraska hadn't lost. They lose one, they lose a second. That is the nature of the Big Ten, and it's not even a confidence thing. It's just sometimes you lose an edge for a second. On the flip side, if you're on a streak like the Gophers are on right now, you get a win. Number 2 might come right away. Number 3 could follow. You just don't know. But there is a streaky nature to conference play.
Well, I mean, you look at Penn State. I mean, everyone's like, well, gosh, they haven't won a game in the league, but they took Michigan and Michigan State down to the wire at their place. They've been in a bunch of these games. You knew they were going to be desperate for a win. Our margin for error is really small. We had we thought that was going to be a dogfight of a game. And I say that the last 2.5 minutes we managed well, but we didn't play well enough for the first 37, and it's kind of tricky. Their big kid was a late scratch 20 minutes before tip. He's a good player for them, kind of a traditional 5. Well, it kind of honestly changed the way they played. And then obviously a lot of what we practiced for 2 days is not really what they did. And that's not an excuse. It's just we have to make an adjustment quickly. And they kind of were able to spread us out a little bit too much and beat us off the dribble. We didn't adjust well enough on the fly. Then they got going. Then they made tough shots. Then you play good defense, they make a tough shot. But that's the way it goes. You got to find a way still to make a few more plays. And we just had too many breakdowns defensively in that first 37 minutes. So yes, the last 2.5, but you play 40. Yeah. And every possession counts.
And they did hit some shots. Even the game-winning shot was a tough shot. I thought Jalen Crocker Johnson had it walled up pretty well. He looked like he was in a heap of trouble. He used to step through live. I thought it was a travel watching the replay. I think by the letter of the law, it's a nice step-through move. Yep. Certainly in the NBA, it's not a travel. And it is what it is. But even that play, if that play runs 10 times, I don't know how many he makes, but he happened to hit that one that counted.
Yeah, and give them credit. They put themselves in position to win the game, and then they made the play they needed to. And so, it's unfortunate. Again, I thought Jalen did defend it really, really well. The kid made a nice move, and I agree. Like, you could nitpick and say, oh, he slid his pivot foot or whatever, but it was pretty good footwork. They're not going to call a travel in that situation. So you have to tip your hat to him. The kid made a great play.
Yeah, and when I saw it live, I thought he got an extra step. I thought he actually took the pivot foot step, but the foot didn't land by the time the ball was out watching the replay. So it turns out that it's probably a pretty good play by him, and it puts him up to win the game. So it's another one of those gut punches. So how is the team handling this part of it? You've talked about how you're trying to handle a little bit. How about your guys?
I mean, you come in the next day and he got on some of the guys kind of hard after the game about just some of the mental errors we made. And, but they, like every day, man, they come back and they've had a great attitude. They've responded. They stay together. We talk a lot about you don't play the blame game, you play the responsibility game. We don't have anybody who blames or points fingers. That's just, it's like playing Monopoly. Yeah. Right? Just blame you. It's just that it never ends, right? And it's just a dark place to go to. So, these guys do a great job of taking responsibility. And, like I got on Croc after the game, and he, I thought in the first half he made some defensive mistakes he normally doesn't make. And I got on after the game. When I watched the film, it probably wasn't as bad as I thought. But, I went to him the next day and I'm like, maybe, I don't regret what I said, but maybe I was a little too hard on you. You weren't perfect. He's like, nah, I needed that. I was bad. Like, I need to be better. And I just love that. All the great players I've been around, that's what they do. Like, they know I need to be better. And, to whom much is given, much is expected. And when you're a veteran guy and whatever, and you play at a certain level, that's the expectation, right? And my job as a coach is to always hold you to your highest standard. And if you don't want that, you're in the wrong program. But these guys, guys, they respond. They keep coming back, and if they do that, I swear to goodness, something good will happen for them.
Early too, the three was open, but it wasn't falling, and so sometimes that can zap energy or what have you. But you were getting good looks; they were open. So I think I asked you this a few weeks ago in another game where maybe they didn't go. You want good shooters to take shots, right? If they're open and come out of your offense.
I don't know. We took 27 threes. I would say 24 of them you have to take. I thought they were open. Just that's basketball, though. Right. Sometimes it just weren't going in early, and but despite that, guys, we shot 70% in the second half. So that wasn't the issue in the game. It would have been nice to make a few more perimeter shots, but that wasn't the issue. We just needed to find a way to slow them down a little bit more.
It looked too, though, like in the second half, Langston especially, but others as well, we're starting to try to get downhill. I think I had to double, triple, quadruple check. I'm not very good at math, especially live on the air, but I think you were 20 for 24 from 2-point range in that game.
That's right.
70, yeah. What is that? Again, trying to do math live. That 75,
well, I can't do the math in my head. I just know that's good.
That's good.
20 for 24 is good.
From 2, yeah.
So whatever it says analytically, that's really good. That's hard to do. So, no, we were really good, again, attacking. Again, the offense was not the issue the other night at Penn State.
How did Cade come out of it? Because it's one good. You mentioned he practiced the day before, responded well, but you never know, right? Ankles are tricky. Plays gives you good minutes. Feeling good?
He was good. Yeah, I thought he did. I thought he did really, really well, responded, and was fine after the game. And so I don't see any issues with him moving forward here.
Yeah, and it didn't look, easy for me to say is watching it from afar, but it didn't look like the ankle limited him much. It looked like he was pretty much full steam ahead.
No, and like I said, this time of year, no one's 100%. Everyone's got nicks and bruises and sore and whatever. But no, I think he responded well, and I don't think it limited him in any way other than maybe just a little bit of stiffness, but I think he was able to try to play the way he wanted to.
Yeah, you guys had to navigate a little foul trouble. Reynolds got early a couple, Cade then got a couple, and at the end you had to kind of do the offense for defense with Cade, because look, if that game goes to overtime, you're going to want a number 10 in the game. So talk about kind of how you have to, as a staff, make sure that you've got guys available at the right times.
Well, I think there were two things going on there. I think, you're doing a little bit of that, but also I thought we were better defensively with Grayson on the floor in that.
Yeah, he had a real
so I thought he played pretty good defense. I thought he played really good defense at Wisconsin. So I just thought we were better defensively with him in the game, with him and Croc there. Defensively, we're better offensively. The other was sort of just trying to do a little offense to defense substitution there when we were pressing.
What for him in terms of his progress? Talking now about Grayson Grove from Alexandria, Minnesota. His the nature of the way he's able to block shots. There's a skill to it, but there's also the point where the rest will get you if you start coming down. And he has been, it looks to me, really good, staying straight and walling up, as they say, and getting some nice defensive stops.
Yeah, he's doing better. I think defense starts with anticipation. He's doing a great job of anticipating what's going to happen. We call, like you said, hands to the lights, reach for the lights on contact, having a strong chest. And so I think he's getting a lot better at that. Second one to leave the floor, where he can get up and challenge. He's a pretty good vertical athlete, he's pretty quick off the floor that way, and his energy level's been great. But I think as the game's slowing down for him on defense, he's anticipating better, what puts him in the right spots, and now he's able to make a few more plays.
All right, let's take our first break. We want to mention, of course, tomorrow night it's Minnesota and Michigan State, 6 o'clock, right next door at Williams Arena. Tickets available at gophersports.com. We'll take air at 5:30 here on the Gopher Sports Network. We're at Buffalo Wild Wings. It's all season long, every Monday or Tuesday. By the way, it will be Tuesday again next week, noon, live. We'll look forward to seeing you all here again. It's Gopher Basketball Weekly from Buffalo Wild Wings, the Buffalo Wild Wings University of Minnesota location. Buffalo Wild Wings, a proud sponsor of Gopher Athletics and the official sports bar of March Madness. Stay with us. It's Gopher Basketball Weekly with Niko Medved from Learfield.
Dear Winter, Toyota can't get enough of you, because Toyota's got 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, and that's more than any other auto brand. From the versatile RAV4 to the svelte Crown, the sleek Camry all-wheel drive, the Corolla Hybrid all-wheel drive, the rugged Tacoma, the tenacious Tundra, and the spacious Grand Highlander with all-wheel drive to keep you and yours safe. Hey, you bring the action, we'll bring the traction. Toyota, let's go places. Based on manufacturer's website, says a 10/20/25.
Small, but mighty. Tough, yet flexible. Bagster bags from WM mix durability with convenience for all kinds of projects. From home cleanups, renovations, and more. Bagster is a dumpster to make disposal easy. You fill it, WM collects it. To learn more, visit thebagster.com or purchase a Bagster at your local retailer. Buy, fill, gone. Bagster by WM.
Visit the University of Minnesota Bookstore, your destination for the area's largest selection of U of M and Golden Gopher apparel, gifts, and novelties for fans of all ages. From the latest styles to timeless favorites, it's your one-stop shop for all things Gophers. And when you shop here, you're giving back because every purchase directly supports the University of Minnesota. Stop by our campus location or shop anytime online at bookstores.umn.edu. Go Gophers!
Are you looking for concert or sports tickets? As a local Minnesota company, Ticket King is a company you can trust. They have seats to fit every budget and even offer parking or tailgating passes, and all tickets are guaranteed. Each order is personally attended to by one of our dedicated customer service representatives who are committed to providing you with a courteous, professional, quick, convenient experience. Visit us at TicketKingOnline.com or call us directly at 612-341-4131.
Buffalo Wild Wings has partnered with the Gopher men's basketball team for the Gophers Win You Win promotion this season. After every Gopher men's basketball victory, fans win 6 free wings. The offer is valid at participating Buffalo Wild Wings locations throughout Minnesota with a $10 minimum purchase for 2 days following each Gopher win. Fans are also invited to join the Niko Medved Coaches Show on Tuesdays from 12 to 1 at the Buffalo Wild Wings University of Minnesota location. For full details, visit gophersports.com/BWW. Buffalo Wild Wings is a proud sponsor of Gopher Athletics and the official sports bar of March Madness.
Imagine getting insider access to your favorite Gopher student athlete, exclusive events, behind-the-scenes content, and unique experiences that bring you closer than ever. That's what you get as a member of Dinkytown Athletes. With memberships starting at just $10 a month, every membership directly supports Gopher student athletes through NIL opportunities, helping them grow on campus and beyond. Take your fan experience to the next level. Visit DinkytownAthletes.com today.
You depend on CenterPoint Energy to deliver energy for what matters most to you, your neighbors, and throughout the land of 10,000 lakes, so we can all make a better tomorrow. That's why we're investing in the latest technology to reduce emissions, offer rebates on qualifying energy-efficient natural gas equipment, and provide energy-saving programs that help save you money. Look ahead at centerpointenergy.com/futuremn.
Playing the Minnesota Lottery is a great way to add some win to your winter. Because while it's long, winter should be fun. And it's the everyday moments that help us through winter. A hot chocolate waiting when we come inside. An extra set of gloves. A fluffy new winter hat. So win this winter by picking up winter scratch games from the Minnesota Lottery. I'm in. Must be 18 or older to play.
Gopher fans know the power of a great team. M Health Fairview University of Minnesota Medical Center is ranked the #1 hospital in the Twin Cities by U.S. News and World Report. This is more than an award. It's a reflection of our team of doctors, nurses, and staff who deliver world-class care so you can be at the top of your game. As the official healthcare provider of Gopher Athletics, M Health Fairview is proud to serve people across the state.
No matter how you drive it, there's a Ford for you. On the work site or out in the town, F-Series trucks provide power and toughness when you need it most. It's what makes them the best-selling trucks in America for 48 years. When adventure calls, the Bronco family always answers. That's because they're made for the great outdoors. With a flexible interior, the Ford Explorer adapts towards your needs. Visit your local Northland Ford dealers to find the perfect Ford for you. Plus, a great offer to go along with it. Based on 1977, the 2024 CY industry reported total sales.
Welcome back. More Gopher Basketball Weekly with Niko Medved here on the Gopher Sports Network. Mike Grimm along with the head coach. JG off today. He's taping the coach's TV show. You'll see that on Fox 9. Hey, you can visit the University of Minnesota bookstore for the area's largest selection of U of M and Golden Gopher apparel, gifts, and novelties for fans of all ages. From the latest styles to timeless favorites, it's your one-stop shop, and every purchase directly supports the University of Minnesota. Shop in-store here on campus or go online, bookstores.umn.edu. We have a $25 gift card we'll be giving away here later on in the show. The sign up right in front of us. Come up and sign up. One of the benefits of being here in person is you've got a crack at the $25 gift card. Tomorrow, Michigan State here in town, ranked 10th in the country. Tom Izzo at the barn. 6 o'clock is the tip. We'll take air at 5:30. We'll preview the Spartans here coming up. Couple of follow-ups here as well as we kind of hash the last couple of games since we last spoke on the radio in this long format on the Gopher Gopher Coaches Show. And again, this is in no way, I'm just asking, in no way suggesting that these things cost you games or what have you, but just some interpretations of things. I know that you were fired up a little bit about the 4-point play at Wisconsin. Have you gotten any clarification after that? It was a foul on Crocker Johnson. I know at the time, because we were sitting right next to you, you felt as if the shooter there may have stuck his leg out, which would have been an offensive foul.
At the time, I thought it clearly was. I thought he kicked out his leg. It's a borderline dangerous play. And of course he makes it. You know, we were still ahead at that point in time. Was pretty upset, voiced my, displeasure with the officials. I hadn't seen the replay yet. The staff did. The staff, too, they're like, oh, clearly, should have been an offensive foul. Officials kept arguing. They said they watched the tape and they thought it was a foul. Well, then the next day, I get a call from the head of officials, and I really respect him. He says, you're not going to like what I have to say, but I just, I felt like I needed to tell you. And it's like, yeah, we reviewed it, and it was clearly an offensive foul, and the basket shouldn't have counted. So should have been a foul on Braden Carrington. The basket shouldn't have counted, and it doesn't make you feel any better, about it. But at least it's nice to know you were right every once in a while, and they were wrong. But yeah, it's too bad. Things don't go your way, all the time. It feels like in some of these, maybe there's ebbs and flows to it. You'll hopefully get a break at one point. Yeah, and from that standpoint, it is odd to me that they went and looked. One, it wasn't a reviewable. You could have challenged for a flagrant, but that's pretty roll of the dice. It would have had to be, I think it had to be a flagrant too. Yeah, right? It would have had to be a flagrant where he, kind of karate kicked the kid, and that otherwise you can't review it. Yes. But they still went back to look because they weren't sure, just to, I think, for their own peace of mind, and then to look at it and then tell you that, and then the next day say, yeah, they were all wrong after looking at it. It was a little bizarre to me. Pretty interesting. Yeah. I just sometimes, anyways, it is what it is. There were a lot of other plays in that game, but sometimes, we had the lead clearly. Guys just played their hearts out. Only down to 6 guys, and like they were making a run, and like that would have been a kind of a key. That was a key thing on their run. Right, to get their momentum, and those are big plays, but that one didn't go our way. Yeah, and anytime I'm taking you down this road, so I want people to be clear that you're not, it's just because I'm asking you these questions in terms of it, but I'm more interested in the interpretation part of it. So another play, and again, if you look at the changing point, I thought in the game Sunday was. The foul that was elevated. It was not called on the floor. It was called. It was committed against Cade Tyson, and then he did get his hand into the facial area. I forget which guy it was, and so they elevated that foul. They kept both fouls, but instead of you getting the ball out of bounds with possession, they got 2 shots and the ball. So it really changed a lot. The call on the floor was foul on them. On Penn State. So we would have been shooting, I believe, one. I think we were in the bonus yet. I can't remember. Yeah, either that or our ball based and out of bounds. But instead, they looked at it, upgraded it to a flagrant. I kind of thought it was just a basketball play, So instead of the foul on them, they said his hand went to a face. So it's 2 shots and their ball. So yeah, that's a big momentum thing. Those are just up to discretion by the officials, and sometimes it just depends on who's on the call and what they're feeling. Yeah, Al Nolan and I have talked about this on the game broadcast this year in particular. And again, it isn't to suggest that somebody's out to get anybody, but in previous years, I've been pretty
accurate on, okay, this is going to be a flagrant, this won't. This year, not at all. Like what we look at is different. Cade got hit in the face on an inbound play that they did review against Nebraska next door here, where it was, to me, a similar kind of play where Sanford just turned to try to block a potential pass. The pass wasn't even made, and he karate chopped him across the side of the face, temple toward the nose. Cade's head flew back, so they reviewed it, and they said, what did they tell you there? One of the guys reffed both games and looked at both those replays.
I said it was a basketball play, you know. So again, they're just
what is a basketball play one week or one game and not the next? I guess is the question, right?
Trying to get me in trouble.
No, I'm just curious. I'm more about what
it is. It's up to interpretation. Yeah. I mean, technically, you know, I just think when you're talking about fighting in the post like that for position, both, you know, offense and defense usually have their arms up. There's going to be elbows and arms. It's like the hook and hold play. I think those are hard to call. Like letter of the law, yes, but to me, to upgrade it to a flagrant, it's got to be, you know, hook and hold to be I intentionally grab to pull him down to the ground, or I'm here and I raise my elbow to, you know, to hit him, you know, above the shoulders or whatever, intentionally to gain an advantage. And, you know, I think those things are hard, and officials have a tough job, you know, that way. I totally understand that, but sometimes I think to overturn a call on the floor, I think you have to have pretty, you know, pretty strong evidence to do that.
I think I like the rule, flagrant 1 and a flagrant 2. I actually kind of wish in football they would implement that for targeting, where, you know, if it's if it's a target and there wasn't a malicious intent, it just happened that the guy's crown hit, that can be a flagrant 1, 15 yards, guy doesn't get ejected. If it was a malicious, you rose up, you elevated, hit the guy under the chin, you can elevate.
After the whistle.
Yeah, after the whistle. I like that rule. I like a flagrant 1 or flagrant 2, and it always seemed if it's a basketball move, it's good, but you're responsible for your arms and your elbows, and even if it isn't a basketball move. So I'm actually, you may feel different, I was okay with the call on Cade. That's fine. He's responsible for his arm, and he hit the guy in the face. But if that's the foul, then the Gophers deserve that one against Nebraska with the same kid, karate chopped him across the face. Let's just be consistent on the thing.
Fair enough.
Right? All right. Let's take a break.
It's easy to get grim going.
Yeah, well, nothing gets me going like that. There's no doubt about that. No doubt. We're at Buffalo Wild Wings, a proud sponsor of Gopher Athletics, the official sports bar of March Madness. Stay with us. It's Gopher Basketball Weekly with Niko Medved from Learfield. Mike Grimm along with the head coach from Buffalo Wild Wings here on campus. Tomorrow night, Minnesota and Michigan State. 6 o'clock is the tip time. We'll take air at 5:30. Before we get into our long contested two, some cool stuff happening this weekend. A look ahead quickly to the Maryland game. Now, it's been happening, but it's being showcased this weekend. It's something you've been doing at Colorado State, Coach, for a number of years, and now have brought it here to Minnesota, called Sky Yuma Strong. Tell us about what you and the team is doing.
Yeah, I'm really excited to take this initiative here to our community. And, long story short, Coaches versus Cancer has been a big thing. Our organization has done a lot with the American Cancer Society. It's kind of a national initiative that's been really good. I really felt like at Colorado, it might be more impactful for the community and for our players to do something more on the local level. So we partnered with the UC Health, our local cancer center there in northern Colorado, and we were able to do some really cool things. And we found on our team, we had 15 players. We call them 14 cancer warriors that we would partner with each one of our players. Those patients, write a letter to our players just kind of describing, the journey that they're going through in their battle. Our kids get an opportunity to read those letters. A lot of times we get an opportunity to go over, visit the cancer center. We do a Zoom call like we did the other night with all the families and patients and kind of introduce ourselves, ask questions, talk about the initiative. Like this week, Friday, they will all come over to practice, and it's really cool to come over to practice and spend time with us, and then after really get a chance to connect, individually. And then on game day, they will come over. On game day, we'll have a great pregame reception for them. Our players will actually wear the names of the patient that they're fighting for on the back of their jersey. So it won't say awesome on the back of their jersey. It will actually say the name of the patient that they're playing for. It's really powerful stuff. And what's been really cool about it is the impact that it's had on the families. And it's had even a bigger impact, I think, on us. And A lot of guys, became lifelong friends with some of these families and patients. They still keep in touch today. It's just been a really, really cool initiative. And again, it's great to, use your platform to do anything you can to give back to the community. But like I say, what's so cool, we get as much or more out of it than anything. Just really puts life into perspective. And so I'm really excited to take that initiative here to the Twin Cities and with our players. And so this weekend will be the inaugural.
Yeah, so cool. And those jerseys with those names back there, those kids and those families got to think that's pretty cool.
They think it's really cool. And I tell you what, when you're a player and you suit up for the first time and you look and that it just, again, we always talk about playing for something bigger than yourself and being a part of something bigger than yourself. And that really puts it into perspective.
So that'll be the Maryland game. You'll have those young people come in on Friday for practice and then pregame on Sunday as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, pretty neat. And it's obviously terrible for families to have to go through that. The good news is there's places like M Health Fairview that offer really high-end, high-level treatment, and it's close here that connection can even be maybe in a stronger situation for you guys.
Absolutely. Masonic too, Children's Hospital right here. And so it's just, again, I think it's a great partnership. This will be the first year that we're doing. Hopefully we continue to make it bigger and better and again, just using our platform to help in any way we can.
All right, very good. And if people want to find out some info more on that, there's some stuff out in the news. Go to gophersports.com. You can find some of that info. Sky Dumas Strong. That deserves a round of applause. What a great effort here that the Gophers are doing there it's really been an ongoing thing, but it'll be showcased here this weekend. All right, let's do some long contested too. So this question comes from the trip to Wisconsin, so it's not on the court stuff, although it eventually could be on the court stuff. I was interested. Greg Gard mentioned something. He was asked about having the return game so quick, right? The 14, 15 days. And he said he wished it was a full round robin in the Big Ten, because right now you play everybody once and then 3 teams twice. He wants, I'm not making this up, he wants a 34-game conference schedule, 6 non-conference games, 40-game regular season men's college basketball schedule, home and home with everyone. He's like, it's a time, and he was serious about it. And as I got thinking about it, I'm like, maybe. So I'm interested, just your initial reaction. Because at a time when, even though revenues are high, you still need more revenue, and you add additional high-level games that fans will want to come to. And 2, now you're playing 40, which might be another 6 or so home revenue opportunities. Your thoughts, Niko Medved?
Well, we could really go down a rabbit hole here.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know if we talked about this one of the other show, but as I look down the road, I can see something like that happening in our sport. I think when this current TV deal is up for the NCAA tournament, I think there's going to be a lot of changes, probably within the NCAA structure, with the finances of the tournament. It's worth so much money. I think there's going to be a reshuffling of the deck, so to speak. I could also see us going to a longer season. I think I could see us going to 40 games, maybe selling our product for more high-level games means more money, more interest, maybe expanding the season a little bit. I could see that happening. Again, this stuff is driven by the almighty dollar, right? And so I don't think that's crazy at all, what Greg Gard said. I think that could be pretty cool, and it's just a matter of what those 6 non-conference games look like. I know it's hard for us to imagine that, but I could see that scenario. And it's funny, I've been on every side of this deal, but now as I'm, continue to be, and I'm at this level, I know fans may not like this at some of these other places, but the teams at the power level need more access to the NCAA tournament. It's a lot different playing night in and night out these games every night than it is in some of these other leagues who have gaudy records, and that's just the way it goes. So there's going to be a lot of changes here in the next 4 to 5 years, but I love the round robin. It's hard to play 36 games, so I get that. But I don't think what he's saying is crazy. And 5 to 7 years, whatever, down the road, this might look a lot different.
Yeah, and, we talked about it,
Wouldn't
too.
Fans like that?
I think so, right?
I think fans would love that.
Because one of his points, too, was, Tom Izzo comes here tomorrow night. As the schedule continues, that's an every other year occurrence now. Because next year you'll go to Michigan State. The year after they'll come back. And part of his deal was people should get to come and boo Tom Izzo, every year. But no, he's a draw. Other teams, UCLA coming in later this year, that's a nice draw. That's a historic program. Every year you'd get that. Now it's 17 road trips, so you're adding a couple, 17 home games. You'd make up for some of that road trip with additional home games. He thought, I'm trying to remember exactly how I remember it, 3 bye games probably. For them, it'd be, they play Marquette every year on a home and home, and then maybe find, maybe the Big Ten ACC or Big Ten SEC, something like that can return. Who knows, right? Yeah,
there's probably got to be a little bit, out of conference play, as you're trying to figure out about seeding the tournament and some head-to-head. There probably needs to be some of those multi-team events, where you go to and you play some people from these other leagues, and then maybe there is a couple of bye games, on your schedule. Obviously, in that scenario, programs are making money playing at home, even in those bye games. But I think you could more than make up for that in potential, you're getting more home games, but then also the TV deal. And
you're not writing a 6-figure check to some school that, some fans may not want to come watch, where now if USC or UCLA is coming into town, Washington, that's just a simple trade. You're not writing those checks, right?
Yeah, I think, again, I'm getting way out there, but I could see, this kind of turning in like not the NBA, but a model much like that, right? Where you've got these conferences, people are playing, you play a few out of conference games, but you're mostly playing, conference games. Then you get to a tournament at the end of the year.
Is 40, would you have to extend the season? Is 40 over the current calendar too many?
I think you'd have to. You'd have to completely reshuffle. Right now, they have that slot for the NCAA tournament right before the Masters, in April. So they've got this window that's almost become like a national holiday.
Yeah.
I think it's the best sporting event, and people might say the Super Bowl. I think the NCAA tournament, that first weekend of the NCAA tournament is unlike anything. It's just American culture at its best sporting event ever. So you'd have to reimagine that, but you probably have to extend the season. But now, heck, we're practicing in the summer, practicing in the fall. That's not hard to do, in my opinion.
And to be somewhat crass about it, these guys are now making significant sums of money, right? That's the reality.
What's the old saying? But he said, it's the price of doing business.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Sometimes it comes at a cost. That's for sure. All right. You mentioned the Super Bowl, the second best then sporting event in your mind behind the NCAA tournament.
There's no bias there.
Yeah, none.
Yeah.
So who do you got this weekend? Do you know who's playing in it?
It's funny. I'm such a baby. I'm a Vikings fan, and then I loved it like the Packers and Bears lost, so I'm happy about that. I'm rooting for Sam Darnold. Yeah. I'd love to see Sam Darnold. I just love to see those kind of guys, underdogs that have really fought through thick and thin, and to get his opportunity be really cool.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think I hear there's this narrative, or people think there's this narrative that a bunch of Viking fans don't want him to do well because he left here, but I'm like, man, what's that got to do with it?
No, I think he's a good guy. He's got a really cool journey, and it'd be a cool story for him to be able to get that done.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we're going to talk Michigan State. That was our long contested too. We've made it a 40-game season. How about that? We solved some revenue issues.
Yeah, I'm sure they care what we think, right?
Well, okay. No, I'm not going to take the break yet. You serve in some capacity on the Coaches Association, right?
Yeah, to do stuff with the NABC, which is National Association of Basketball Coaches, and we get together and kind of voice our concerns and try to influence policy at the national level, and in some ways hopefully we can be productive. I think there's some changes that will happen here in April that I think will be good changes for our game. But again, I just think sometimes they don't listen to coaches enough. We're the ones in the trenches, and sometimes you got these people making these decisions for our sport or whatever that don't really understand what goes on in our world every day.
So in something like that, and again, like you say, it may be years away, but if a guy like Niko Medved and Greg Gard and a few others started to say this is what we want, would that be the approach? You'd have to take it through the association and then pitch it? Or
I think those things are different because that has to do with television and money.
Gotcha.
That's, Tony Batiti, Greg Sankey. Those are people who look at it, and that's what they're paid to do, is to look at what's in the best interest of the Big Ten or the SEC or college basketball, in the next 5 to 7 years. I don't know what it's going to look like. It's just my prediction. I could be wrong. I know it's hard for people to believe, but I've been wrong sometimes. I just believe when this TV deal is up or nearing an end, I think you are going to see changes to college basketball. I think our TV deal is undervalued. I think there's too much money and too much interest at stake. The schools right now have control of the bowl games. I think it's gonna start to go to our sport as well.
Yeah. All right. Now we will take the break. Stay with us. We're at Buffalo Wild Wings, proud sponsor of Gopher Athletics and the official sports bar of March Madness. We will preview the Michigan State Spartans. They're here tomorrow night. It's Gopher Basketball Weekly with Niko Medved from Learfield.
The human heart. It doesn't take days off, or hours, minutes, or seconds for that matter. It just keeps beating in steadfast, unrelenting service to each of us. So when your heart needs medical care, doesn't it deserve the most advanced treatments available, delivered by nationally recognized physicians and surgeons? Show your heart some love. Take it to M Health Fairview. Visit mhealthfairview.org/heartcare to learn more.
Midland Hills Country Club is well known as one of the finest golf clubs in the Twin Cities. The club has completely renovated its classic Seth Rayner designed course back to its original design. Enjoy a meticulously maintained course in a newly renovated ballroom and patio accommodating up to 300 guests in smaller breakout rooms, along with an executive boardroom overlooking the beautiful course. The club offers a great golf experience in a comfortable social atmosphere and is conveniently located just 10 minutes from either downtown. Visit MidlandHillsCC.org.
You can guarantee yourself a Minnesota maroon and gold win when you sell your business with True North Mergers and Acquisitions. True North M&A is a local alumni-owned company and a proud sponsor of Gopher Athletics. True North M&A provides brokerage services to small businesses as well as mergers and acquisition services to companies up to $250 million in revenue. Are you thinking about selling? True North M&A helps you maximize your life's work. Visit TNMA.com for a confidential conversation. Minnesota's largest seller of companies. That's TNMA.com.
Dear Winter, Toyota can't get enough of you because Toyota's got 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. And that's more than any other auto brand. From the versatile RAV4 to the svelte Crown, the sleek Camry all-wheel drive, the Corolla Hybrid all-wheel drive, the rugged Tacoma, the tenacious Tundra, and the spacious Grand Highlander with all-wheel drive to keep you and yours safe. Hey, you bring the action, we'll bring the traction. Toyota, let's go places. Based on manufacturer's websites as of 10/20/25.
Our producer, Joe Deciman, has helped out, along with Michelle Train Traversy helping out here. We've got our winner of the gift card, and now we're ready to close it out. Hey, a pretty cool story about your family this week. In the newspaper, Chip Scoggins wrote a story about your dad. Take us through that.
Yeah, really, I'm just, it's really, really cool. You know, thanks, Chip, for doing that and telling that story. And, you know, every time I think about it, and for people just to kind of understand, you know, my background, my dad and their family's background, it's really cool. It's part of who I am and part of my journey, what makes me who I am today. And so really, really cool to tell that. And like I joke with my dad, I'm like, Dad, you're a celebrity now, man. You know, sure. Everybody knows my dad. If you get a chance to meet him, you'll know why. So really cool story, puts a lot into perspective, and especially, you know, that wasn't ancient history. Yeah. That wasn't that long ago. And so again, I'm learning about that here, and hopefully something I continue to, you know, have my girls and my kids understand too, about what their grandparents went through.
Yeah, Star Tribune with Chip Scoggins. Go find that story if you missed it and haven't read it yet. All right, so next task at hand, number 10, Michigan State, Hall of Fame coach Tom Izzo coming to town. What do you see from the 2026 Michigan State Spartans?
Well, you know, I kind of feel good. I mean, I feel like now, you know, we've kind of been on a little bit of this schneid, haven't been able to get over the hump, and now, you know, hopefully we have this kind of inexperienced coach and program, you know, coming to town here. Maybe we push over. Maybe we can take advantage of coaches' inexperience a little bit and their lack of preparation to get over the hump. You can tell my sarcasm.
Lack of skill as well. Yes.
You know, there. So yeah, it's only Michigan State. So no, I mean, listen, one of the best to ever do it, and continues to do it. You know, Michigan State. It's classic Michigan State. Tough, elite in transition, elite on the boards. They're, I think, 2 in defense in the country, 1 in the Big Ten. I mean, just everything you can imagine. Physical. They're coming off a tough loss at home. They've had 4 days to prepare. they'll be ready, So, hey, just another really tough test for us tomorrow, but I'm excited for the challenge.
They obviously have a roster full of talent. Fears has been playing well for them, and he's in the news a little bit too with some of the stuff as the in-state rivals had a little back and forth with certain things, and it got a little chippy as rivalry games might. But what's the key to trying to contain him as I guess he would be their point guard, right?
Oh yeah, I mean he leads the country in assists. Tough as nails, great competitor, great playmaker, is a capable shooter. But the deal with him is he just gets downhill in transition, downhill in the half court, runs their offense, finds guys, gets a lot of guys shots, really good defensively. He's just one of those quintessential, Michigan State point guards that way. So, everything starts with him, but they've got a lot of other veteran guys too. And again, the one thing about their program, like a lot of these great programs, is you can flip on year to year and they might have different numbers and different players, but there's certain things that always stand out. You think of Michigan State, it's the rebounding, it's the transition, it's the defense, it's the toughness, and they've had some great point guards over the years, and he's right there.
Every year that Michigan State plays, the Gophers or whoever else, you ever hear any coaches talk about it, and they always say, you got to get back on defense, you got to get back on defense. How important is that, and what's the strategy in getting back on defense? Because I know different coaches have different theories on it in terms of, can you slow them down first, or do you just all sprint the other way, or what's the way to try to slow that transition? Because they run that sideline break forever as fat, 3 passes and it's in the basket.
Yeah, well, run back really hard.
Yeah.
I had a great coach, Coach Bennett, tell me once too, you can't run on a team who's back.
Yeah. True.
Right. And so, I think sometimes there's not a lot of tricks. We actually have been pretty good in transition defense. We're going to get tested in a way that we never have before. One of the things I challenge to them is, you watch the film and it's both misses and makes, but, you go in there and you try to score in the lane against their physical defense, a missed shot at the rim and they get the rebound. Just look at it. They are scoring or getting an advantage on the other end. So some of it is the kind of shots that you take. You got to take great shots. You got to take care of the ball so you can have floor balance and be able to get back and try to get your defense set. And we have to make this team try to score in the half court. That's half the challenge. Then the other challenge is your first shot defense can be really good, but then they're going to get it, So you got to win the first part of the clock, and then you got to win the end of the possession. That's easier said than done. People have been trying to do it against them for years, and they've done it with various degrees of success.
And in various interviews with you, whether it's pregame on this show or whatever, when I ask, or Guards or whoever asks about keys or style or whatever, you always say with you guys, 2 of the first few things you ever say, transition defense and rebounding. And against these guys, I suppose, as you mentioned, that's only heightened.
Yeah, top of the list. And, it's funny, the players probably roll their eyes, but I tell them, before the game, the stuff that we write up as keys, I'm like, if we get to the point and we get the program right, I could have any of those players go up there and they could write what the keys are. You know what I mean? It's not like I have to tell them. We have to know them by now. These are the things that we have to do to give ourselves a chance to be successful. So, yes, that's 1 and 2 on the list.
With Tom Izzo, now that you're in this league, have you, in previous years or at any point over your coaching career, been able to spend any time with him? Or?
Oh, just briefly. I joke. I think he's the only other coach. My mom loves Coach Izzo for whatever reason. I don't know why. I like Coach Izzo a lot, And so to tell me maybe the only coach that she likes, maybe not quite as much as me, but she does. So but hopefully not tomorrow.
Yeah. You and as a new guy in the league, I think you talked about this when on this show when Chris Collins, that you hadn't really ever met him, and then you met him in the spring. You guys had coaches meetings. You're like, man, that dude's a good dude. So as you're getting to know some of these guys, you want to beat the living daylights out of them every week. But when it comes down to it, most coaches are in it for the right reasons, wanting to develop young guys, and it seems Izzo is that.
Oh yeah, he is. And what you love about him is that he's done it for so long. He's 71, 72. 32 now, still going strong. He's a coach at heart. He does it his way. You know what you're going to get. He's going to tell you what you think. There's not pulling any punches, and just the level of success year in and year out. It's really hard to ignore.
Yeah, what an impressive resume for sure. Home court, obviously huge tomorrow. Could have an opportunity to win another game against a ranked team here.
Yep, they just keep coming. 6 o'clock tomorrow night at the barn. Hopefully we can have a great crowd and give these guys heck and give ourselves a chance again to win. And maybe one of these times here, half joking, it's gonna go our way again.
Maybe tomorrow night will be that.
Maybe tomorrow night.
All right, thank you as always.
Thank you.
All right, there he is, the head coach of the Golden Gophers, Niko Medved. We want to thank him. Tomorrow night, 6 o'clock the tip. Tickets at gophersports.com. Al Nolan and I will take air tomorrow at 5:30 here on the Gopher Sports Network. This has been Gopher Basketball Weekly with Niko Medved from Learfield.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.